Hi, it's Mobile Max in West Hollywood, and it's Sunday, April 27th, 2025. I was going on a job just a few hours ago in my area here in West Hollywood, and I was getting in my car and I noticed this woman walking down Fountain Avenue, and she was pushing a baby cart, and she looked like a middle-aged woman, but I didn't pay much attention to her. So I went down to my job, which is about, I don't know, a mile away. Not too far, over on Gardner and Willoughby. So I was finishing up on the job on Gardner and Willoughby, and here's this same woman again who was on Fountain. Now she's way down the street on Gardner and Willoughby, at least a mile or so away, pushing this empty baby stroller. Empty. She had a weird look on her face. She didn't look like she belonged in the neighborhood, that's for sure. At any rate, I've seen a lot of this stuff lately. People wandering around. I guess, the homeless have absolute, all their rights, big rights. And I don't know whether you know this or not, but California is very friendly with squatters. Do you know that if your house is empty, somebody can break inside, and if there's no camera showing them breaking in, put their shirts up in your closet, because they have to have proof they're living there, so they can put their clothes real quick up in your closet, maybe even get a mail sent to your address in their name. Whatever. If you show up all of a sudden and they're in your house and you can't kill them, you can't hurt them, even if they're in their house, if they're not threatening your life, you can't do nothing to them. So you call the police, and a squatter who knows everything about rights, and especially California law, says, lease, I've got a lease. He doesn't even have to have a lease. It helps to have something in paper, but of course, he could just print something out and sign it and make it look authentic. Anyway, even if he says, I have a lease, cops can't do dick. Nothing. You have to spend tens of thousands of dollars on attorneys, and maybe you get them out in a year or so. Or there's specialist detectives who specialize have special techniques of getting rid of these people. Anyway, this has happened to people, to elderly in particular, who are weak and don't have much money. Caregivers who have been fired by their company and are doing nothing for the elderly, but they're living there to take care of them, all of a sudden refuse to leave. And it takes the elderly all sorts of time to get rid of these people, and in the process they're stealing and doing all sorts of terrible things. But that's California law. It doesn't make any sense, and they're lazy. That's the big thing, is they could go out there in the field and find out what's going on for sure, whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, whether it's within the parameters of the law or it's just a con, a grift. But they're lazy and they don't do shit. Anyway, you keep your eyes open for people wandering around, and if you got a house, you better put some cameras on it where they can't be disconnected. Anyway, also I want to talk about is, all of a sudden for the last few years, it seems a lot of lower income people and homeless sure know about their rights. Boy, do they know about their rights in Los Angeles, California. And they have big rights. I want you to see that last few years, I think on the internet, remember the internet? The information superhighway is what Bill Clinton called it in his administration. Information superhighway. Homeless and lower income people are using this to transfer information on how to get away with crimes and how to manipulate the law and what your rights are, and good attorneys. That's another thing. Attorneys who run California. California Trial Lawyers Association, they are powerful. And remember, you look on television, there's nothing but attorney commercials. That in LA and California in general are the lawsuit capitals of the world. Everybody sues everybody else. Anyway, through the internet, many of these lower income and homeless people learn their rights and techniques and manipulation of the law so they can get a lot of money. Sue the police, get money. Sue the stores, get money. Shoplift, no problem. Anyway, California has gone mad. And they got a bunch of worthless, lazy people working there. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Be careful. Watch your neighborhood, especially if you live in a nice area. All right, bye.